Okay, so here's what you need to do, bud. You need to make this. However, we have a restriction. And what the restriction is, in some way, in somehow, you must arrange the materials. And since it looks like things sink to the bottom, you can do this. You have to arrange the materials when you're making this so that as they settle to the bottom, they form a rendition of my face. That's right. You need to trap me in a horrifying meat gelatin and then eat it. And you have to take pictures of this, and then you'll send it to me, and then I'll show chat, and then they'll vote on it. And if it's cursed enough, which it probably will be, me in meat space, trapped in jelly, is already horrifying. But if you can accomplish this, even if it looks shitty, right? Even if it looks shitty, if chat votes on it, you get a diamond next to your name forever. That's how it works. That's how you become a VIP here. You have to do this. Do you accept your quest? If he doesn't accept, I will. Give me a clean JPEG.
Hopefully that clears up why I'm making this, because surprisingly, making culinary abominations isn't exactly a hobby of mine. But before I start, I have to say, unfortunately my cameras are acting up, so the footage is kind of scuffed. And so, in an attempt to try to distract from this, I will be a tangerine. Now getting onto it, the first thing I have to do is make the mold for the silicon mold, which takes all of 20 minutes. Then I print it out, get rid of any non-cured resin by bathing it in alcohol like it just went through a bad breakup. To finish, I cure it with UV light. It turns out it's quite important to change it from the wash setting to the cure setting, otherwise it turns into a really bad blender. Who knew? Now I need to work out how much silicon is required. Instead of doing it the proper way, I do it the lazy way and just fill the molds full of water and then dump them into a bucket. Well, I try to dump them into a bucket. Most of the water makes it, so I'll just add a few grams to the end result to make up for the bit that didn't. Time to mix the silicon. I'm using a 50-50 mix, so I first start with half of the weight in white stuff, and then add the other half in more law accurate stuff, and then mix thoroughly. I pour the silicon into the mold with all of the grace of a drunk toddler before putting them into the salt chamber. This is when the severe ADHD kicks in.
6 months later.
Wait, wasn't I doing something? Oh right, the chicken jelly. After spending 10 minutes breaking my fingers trying to get the bloody mold out of the bloody mold, I eventually get it to budge and pull it out. Now I can cook, but I don't like to, so I found a recipe and outsourced making it to my sister, who did an amazing job, but my god this thing looks horrific. The camera doesn't quite pick this up, but I assure you it's bad. It looks like it's been decaying for like 2 months. Now for the taste test. It tastes exactly how you'd expect it to. I don't like this fact. I don't like this fact at all. Since I saw this coming from a mile away and had a few molds laying around, I decided to have some chocolates made as palate cleansers. That's the fun thing about molds, you can put whatever you want in them. Like that resin that expired a while ago. And if you pair that up with some of the busted junk you have laying around, you can make yourself a cursed RGB Thor. Now you may ask, why is that cursed? Well, besides the fact that it's 90% electrical tape, it also changes colors when you hit it. And I have no idea why it does that. I checked, it has no loose connections. It's just haunted. Well, that's all I got for now, Thor. I suppose I could wax poetically about how great of a person you are. I could. I won't. I'm just gonna say, keep doing what you're doing, mate.